Welcome back, episode 2. So I've got some 3/16 or just under 3/16 and some 1/8 inch, where is it, 7018 1/8 inch stick welding rod I got from my dad's place. I'm just knocking the flux off of it and sanding it up a little bit so it's nice and clean, so that I can use that to start adding some bars back into the chassis. So I'm gonna clean the rest of these up and then start measuring and cutting. Alright, so here's first bar going in. I'm gonna triangulate that, and then I may go here to here, we'll see. But that's the first bar going in. So I recorded a bunch of stuff, and some of it was corrupt on my SD card, which kind of sucks, but I'll show you where I'm at now. Here we go. So my Hot Racing shocks came in. I got one of the Hobbyking, what is that, HK15298, which I don't know if any of you guys are subscribed to XO Caged RC. He did a test on 4 budget servos, and this one came out on top, and it's like 26, 28 bucks shipped from eBay, Hobbyking's eBay account. But I'm still missing a servo horn. I put a plastic one on there to try and test it, and it immediately broke. So I need to get an aluminum one, the style that clamps onto the shaft of the servo. So gonna stop at the local hobby store and maybe pick one of those up tomorrow. But anyway, so, and then I made this little aluminum shelf here, just temporary, to hold the electronics, so I can do some testing with my buddy John this weekend, hopefully. I got really nice fancy double zip tie rear battery tray mount there. So let's talk about this Hot Racing shocks here for a minute. These are their 120 millimeter air shocks, which they're supposed to have the piston on the inside, or the disc on the inside, has a little slot or a notch in one side of it, and you're supposed to put just a tiny bit of silicone oil in here just to kind of lube everything up, because in the bottom, so down in this bottom cap down here, there's double O-rings. This is one of them. Hopefully you can see that. So there's double O-rings in the bottom of these things, and with the double O-rings in, and even with silicone shock oil, they're entirely too stiff. So you pull one of those out, lube them up, and then it comes with 3 different spring weights. It comes with these black springs, which are the heaviest ones, and they're stiff. They're super stiff. So black ones are super stiff. Then it's got silver springs are the medium, and then the gold springs are the light. So I put the lightest springs in, not even close to enough tension. The thing just basically dropped all the way down onto the bump stops, or bottomed out essentially. So then I ran the medium ones, and kind of tested it a little bit, and the thing was basically like extended all the way up. It didn't have any sag. And this thing weighs about, by the way, this thing weighs about 6.5 pounds, I think, something like that. So it's not super heavy, but anyway, so the medium springs were too stiff, soft springs were too soft. So what I actually did was I pulled these apart and I pulled the piston and shaft all the way out, and I put the gold soft springs below the piston and the medium springs above. And so that seems to kind of have stiffened the shocks up a little bit. They seem like they feel a little bit better, but if you're looking for performance and some good dampening, don't buy these things. I'm probably going to end up getting something else, because they're like my Grasshopper or my Hornet from 1987. It's just all spring. There's no dampening to it. It's just a spring. I've seen guys run these and then run like a springless oil shock next to it, which makes sense, but why go to all the trouble putting double shocks on there when you can just run a good, like a Traxxas GTS shock, or some other, you can even get Chinese 120 millimeter shocks. Oil shocks would probably be better than these. So I may not keep these on here. I'll run them for a while and test them out and see, but I'm probably not going to keep them on there. So yeah, I think the last thing I showed was I was brazing in these sidebars here. And I've also noticed, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera or not, but the front end of this thing, whichever Chinese kid was brazing this or welding this thing together, had crossed eyes or something, because it's pretty crooked. So I think I may end up actually cutting the whole front of this thing off and probably redoing it with some of that wire I showed you the first part of the vid. So that's that wire there. It's just a arc welding rod with the flux knocked off of it and polished up or sanded a little bit. So anyway, this thing is ready for a test this weekend, so hopefully I can make it over to my buddy's house and we can, he actually is building one too, so I'm going to put a link in the description to his Instagram as well, so you can go and follow him, follow Honeybadger, because he does all kinds of RC stuff on his Instagram and posts a ton of cool pics. He's got a TRX4 with a RC four-wheel drive blazer body on it that he just got done with. It's all like patinaed and rusty and stuff. It looks pretty cool. And then he actually ordered a Chinese chassis and is doing a rock bouncer. We're doing kind of builds together. So I'll put the link to his Instagram in the description. So anyway, that's what this thing looks like as of now. So I'm going to grab a servo horn tomorrow, and then maybe Sunday run over and do some testing. So I'll catch you on the next episode.